2 weeks ago, in a Cracker Barrel in Detroit, a 71-year-old man named Henry was sitting in a booth with his grandson eating pancakes. Henry is a retired truck mechanic, worked for Ford for 41 years, wore a uniform with his name stitched on the chest every single day for over 4 decades. His grandson is 24, just graduated, started his first real job, and Henry was telling him something every grandfather should be telling every 24-year-old. He was telling him the 7 boring things he did with his money for 40 years. The 7 things that turned a $52,000 a year job at the assembly plant into $2.1 million in his retirement account. No inheritance, no lottery, no business on the side, no crypto, no real estate empire. 40 years, 7 habits, $2.1 million. I'm Trish, and I sit down with the people who quietly built it. So the 7 things Henry told his grandson over pancakes, you can start doing tonight. Here's why this matters more than anything else you'll watch this week. The data on the average American household is brutal. According to Bankrate's 2026 Emergency Savings Report, 27% of Americans have zero emergency savings, the highest level ever recorded. 59% cannot cover a $1,000 emergency expense. 53% live paycheck to paycheck. And that includes 32% of people earning over $100,000 a year. 6-figure earners, drowning. And then there's Henry, $52,000 a year. No college. Detroit. Recession after recession, 2 divorces, 3 kids, a roof that needed replacing twice, and $2.1 million in the bank at 71. The difference between Henry and the broke 6-figure earner is not income. It's not luck. It's not the system. It's 7 habits, boring ones. Habits so quiet, so unsexy, that nobody talks about them on YouTube. Nobody writes books about them. Nobody makes a course called How to Quietly Save $20 a Month for 30 Years. But that's the entire game. And today, you're going to hear all 7, exactly as Henry told them to his grandson over breakfast. Some of them you've heard before. Some you haven't. None of them are exciting. But all 7 of them work. Every single time. One quick framing before we start. Henry's grandson asked him a question between pancakes. He said, "Pop, what's the one thing? If you had to pick the single biggest thing you did right?" Henry didn't even pause. He said, "Kid, there is no one thing. Anybody who tells you there's one thing is selling you something." That's the trap with money advice. Everyone's looking for the magic move. The hot stock, the clever tax loophole, the side hustle that prints cash. Real wealth is the opposite. Real wealth is 7 small things, done quietly, for a long time, by somebody who decided early that they were going to be patient instead of clever. So was Yvonne, the retired teacher in Phoenix from a couple videos back, with $2.8 million on a school district salary. So was Tony, the single dad delivery driver. None of them were geniuses. They were just stubborn about 7 boring things. Here are the 7. Grouped by what they do: make money, keep money, grow money. Group 1. Income side. How Henry kept what he earned. Habits 1 and 2. Habit number 1. Henry told his grandson this one first because he said it's the only one that matters if you skip the rest. Kid, from my very first paycheck at Ford in 1984, before I ever saw the money, 10% went straight to savings, off the top, like a tax. Then I lived on the rest. That's it. That's the entire habit. The mistake everybody makes. They pay all the bills, buy what they want, and then save whatever's left. There is never anything left. The math always finds a way to spend itself. Henry flipped it. Savings was bill number 1. Everything else fought for what was left. Tony, the single dad delivery driver from a couple videos ago, does the exact same thing. His 3% 401k contribution comes out before his check is deposited. He never sees it. He never misses it. Tony's words exactly. I can't save what I don't have, but I can save what I never see. If you're not auto-depositing a fixed percent of every paycheck, even $50, into a savings account or 401k you have not started yet. Set it up. Tonight. The number doesn't matter. The habit matters. Once it's automatic, you'll bump the percentage up over time, without flinching. Habit number 2. Live in less house than you can afford. Henry bought one house in 1991, 2-bedroom, $68,000, in a perfectly fine neighborhood in Dearborn. He paid it off in 19 years, lived in it the whole time. The bank had told him he qualified for $140,000. Sandra is a 32-year-old accountant in Pittsburgh I talked to last fall. Same situation. The bank pre-approved her for $385,000. She bought a $215,000 condo instead. Her boss thought she was crazy. Sandra said, "I'd rather have $1,200 a month going to my Roth IRA than to my mortgage. The bank doesn't care if I retire. I do." Buying the maximum house the bank offers you is the single biggest wealth killer of the American middle class. The mortgage feels manageable on day one. Then property tax goes up, then insurance goes up, then the roof, the HVAC, the water heater, the while we're at it renovation. Suddenly that $385,000 house consumes 50% of your take-home pay for 30 years. Buy what you need, not what the bank says you can afford. Those two numbers are very different. Group 2. Cost side. How Henry didn't bleed money. Habits 3, 4, 6. Habit number 3. Drive used. Keep it forever. Henry has owned exactly 4 vehicles in his entire adult life. Average ownership, over 10 years per car. 2 of them were used when he bought them. His current truck, a 2014 Ford F-150 with 187,000 miles. Bought used in 2018. Paid $16,400 cash. Still drives perfectly. Here's the math, because it's nuts. The average new car in 2026 costs about $50,000. According to Kelley Blue Book, that car loses 20 to 25% of its value in the first year. After 3 years, 30 to 40% gone. After 5 years, about 55%. Translation: you drive a $50,000 car off the lot. 1 year later, it's worth $38,000. You just lost $12,000, sitting in your driveway, doing nothing. A 3-year-old version of the same car cost about $26,000. The first owner ate that $24,000 of depreciation for you. You drive the same car, same features, same warranty in many cases, half the price. Yvonne, the retired teacher with $2.8 million, drives a 12-year-old Toyota Camry she bought used. Linda, her sister-in-law with $89,000, has had a new car payment every 3 years for 25 years. Same street, same career, same income. The car bought 70% of the gap. Habit number 4. Never carry a credit card balance. Ever. Henry told his grandson this one with a kind of half laugh. "Kid, I have used a credit card every week of my life since 1986. I have never paid interest. Not one time, not one penny. Want to know how?" Grandson nodded. "Easy. I never charged what I couldn't pay off Saturday. If the money wasn't already in my checking account, the card stayed in my wallet. The end." The average American has $6,618 in credit card debt. The average APR right now is 22.12%. That's about $1,460 a year, every year, paid in pure interest. For nothing. For the privilege of having spent money you didn't have, on something you don't even remember. David, a guy you met in the Money Drains video, was paying $77 a month in credit card interest, $924 a year. He told himself he was responsible because he made the minimum payment. He was funding his bank's vacation. That's all the minimum payment does. Henry's rule. If the cash isn't already there to cover it Saturday, don't charge it. Use the card for points. Pay it off weekly. Never roll a balance. Ever. That one habit, over 40 years is worth roughly $200,000 in compound interest you never had to send to your bank. Habit number 6. Renegotiate every recurring bill once a year. Skipping ahead because this one belongs in the cost group. Once a year, every January, Henry sits down for one Saturday morning. Coffee, pen, phone. He calls or chats with every recurring bill in his life. Auto insurance, home insurance, phone bill, internet, cable, streaming. He does the same script every time. I've been a loyal customer for X years. I just got a quote from a competitor for Y dollars less. Sandra, the accountant from Pittsburgh, does the same thing. Her dad taught her. She saves about $880 a year, every year, from one Saturday morning of phone calls. $880 a year, invested in an S&P 500 index fund at the historical average return of 8% over 30 years. That's $107,000. From phone calls, once a year. 3 hours of work for $107,000. If you have not renegotiated your auto insurance, your phone plan, or your internet in the last 12 months, you are paying the loyal customer tax. That's a real thing. Companies charge their existing customers more than new ones because they know you won't call. Group 3. Wealth side. How Henry grew it without touching it. Habits 5 and 7. Habit number 5. Index funds. Buy them. Never touch them. Henry started investing in his 401k in 1987. He picked one fund, an S&P 500 index fund. Not a hot stock, not a sector bet, not biotech, not crypto, not gold. Just the boring index that owns 500 of the biggest American companies. He put 10% of every paycheck into it for 38 years. Never changed funds, never tried to time the market, never panicked. He told his grandson, "There were 5 times in 40 years where I thought my retirement was over." October 1987, the dot-com crash, September 11th, 2008, the COVID crash, 5 times where I watched my account drop 20, 30, 40%. You know what I did? Grandson said no, nothing. I did nothing. I didn't sell. I didn't move it. I didn't even check it for 6 months. Every one of those crashes, every single one, was completely gone within 3 years. And then it kept going up. The S&P 500's average annual return over the last 100 years, including every crash, every recession, every war, is roughly 10% before inflation, about 7 to 8% after. The people who beat the market, people who try to buy low, sell high, almost universally lose to the index. Studies have shown this for 50 years. Active fund managers, professionals doing this for a living, beat the index less than 15% of the time over any 20-year period. Henry beat 85% of professional money managers by doing literally nothing. Pick a low-cost index fund. Auto-invest into it monthly. Don't touch it. Don't check it daily. Treat it like a smoke detector. Set it, ignore it, hope you never have to think about it. Habit number 7. 6 months of expenses in cash. Always. The last habit, and the one that made everything else possible. Henry kept 6 months of his living expenses, about $18,000, sitting in a high-yield savings account. Always. From 1989 until the day he retired. He told his grandson, "When the auto industry collapsed in 2008 and I was on furlough for 9 months, I did not touch my 401k. I did not sell my index fund at the bottom. I did not take a payday loan. I lived off my emergency fund. When Ford called me back, my 401k was still in there compounding. That's the year that changed everything." The data on emergency funds is bleak. According to a January 2026 Empower survey, the median American emergency fund is $600. $600. That's not a fund. That's lunch. When you don't have an emergency fund, every emergency becomes a financial decision. Sell the stock at the bottom, put it on the credit card at 22%, take a payday loan at 400%, raid the 401k with a 10% penalty plus tax. Every one of those decisions costs you years of compound growth, sometimes decades. The emergency fund is offense, not defense. It's what lets your investments stay invested. Start with $1,000, build to 1 month of expenses, then 3, then 6. Park it in a high-yield savings account paying 4%. Don't touch it. That's the 7. Pay yourself first. Smaller house, used cars, no credit card balance, index funds, annual renegotiation, emergency fund. None of them are sexy. All of them work. 2 objections before we go to action steps. Objection 1. These habits are obvious. I already know them. Sure, knowing them and doing them are completely different sports. The data says 27% of Americans have zero savings. 59% can't cover $1,000. The median emergency fund is $600. The average credit card balance is $6,618, carrying 22% interest. That is the data of a country that knows all 7 habits and follows 0 of them. Knowing isn't the move. Doing, every paycheck, every month, every January, is the move. If you genuinely already do all 7, you're not the person this video is for. You're already on the Henry track. Tell a friend. Objection 2. I can't do all 7 right now. You don't have to. Henry didn't either. Pick one this week. Just one. Most people who try to overhaul everything at once quit in 14 days. Pick the easiest one for you. Probably auto-depositing $50 a paycheck and lock it in. Once it runs on autopilot for a month, pick the next one. Compound the habits, not just the money. That's how Henry actually built it. 1 habit at a time, over 40 years. Patient instead of clever. Step 1. Tonight. Set up auto-deposit. Log into your bank. Set up an automatic transfer of whatever you can afford. $25, $50, $100 a paycheck, from checking to savings. Schedule it for the day your paycheck hits. You don't need to find money in the budget. You're going to live on what's left. That's the entire point. It's habit 1, and it's the only habit that matters tonight. 10 minutes. Done forever. Step 2. This weekend. Pick your second habit. Look at the 7. Honestly ask yourself which one is bleeding you the most right now. For most people, it's number 4. Credit card balance. For some, it's number 3. Paying $580 a month for a car you didn't need. For some, it's number 7. No emergency fund. Pick the one. Make a single, specific move. If it's credit card balance, call the bank and ask for a hardship rate. Or apply for a balance transfer card with 0% for 18 months. If it's car, list the car for sale. If it's emergency fund, open a high-yield savings account this weekend. Step 3. January. Renegotiation Saturday. Mark a date on your calendar, the first Saturday of every January, from now until you retire. That is Renegotiation Saturday. You spend 3 hours. You call your auto insurance, home insurance, phone, internet, and any subscription over $20 a month. You ask for a better rate. You leave whoever won't give you one. Average savings, $50 to $100 a month every year for the rest of your life. That's habit 6. Set the calendar reminder now while you're thinking about it. If you do these 3 things, you've started habits 1, then 1 more, then 6. If this video helped you, or if you've got a 24-year-old in your life who needs to hear what Henry told his grandson, do me one favor. Hit the subscribe button. New video on this channel every single day. Each one is a specific move that puts real money back in your pocket. Same way this one just did. And here's what's coming tomorrow that you cannot miss. Henry, Yvonne, Tony, and Sandra all share something else. Something most people get backwards. They all look, at first glance, kind of broke. Old truck, modest house, no designer logos, no flashy watch, no look-at-me posts on social media. Meanwhile, the people you see flexing online, the new car every 2 years, the Cartier bracelet, the Hermes belt, those people are usually drowning. Tomorrow, I'm going to walk you through exactly why looking successful is now the single most expensive financial mistake you can make. The stealth wealth rule. why the quietly rich go out of their way to look like they have less than they do, and how it makes them more wealthy, not less. Tomorrow. I'm Trish. Talk to you then.